Fucking game bar shit cock. Hi, my name's Oremaster101.
Yeah, cock, balls, motherfucker, daddy fucker, cunt.
That's Zero Yeti. Today we are playing Overland, and it was one of the games that was a part of the Black Lives Matter bundle, and if you got a hold of that, congratulations, you are a good person.
Hello?
Are you there, Chris? I mean, Zero Yeti?
Cut out something fierce for a second.
Okay, we're playing Overland today.
Okay. Random fact number 1. At a speech Jimmy Carter delivered during his presidency, a Japanese interpreter once translated a joke saying, "President Carter told a funny story. Everyone should laugh."
What the fuck? Also, is it bad that I thought you were going to say Jimmy, but I was confused. I thought you said Jimmy Buffett, so I was a little confused. Like Jimmy Buffett.
Buffett margarita.
Like Jimmy Buffett was president? What?
Low key. If I ever make another Animal Crossing island, I'm just gonna make it like Jimmy Buffett's town.
Oh my god.
Call the place Margaritaville.
God.
If space were full of air, the sun would be louder than a train horn.
That would be awful. What was I gonna say? The universe... I don't know how to explain it. The point is, the universe is as big as if you put 3 melons into the sun. Does that make sense?
What?
Okay, so...
That just sounds like you just want to chuck melons at the sun.
No. So, the theory is that the universe is so, vast and huge that, trying to measure it is like trying to measure the sun, the inside of the sun with 3 melons. Does that make... is that making sense?
Right. Not really, but okay.
Okay, what about trying to count all the bees in Europe?
You can actually do that using rough estimates.
Okay.
I'll look up how many bees are in Europe right now. I guarantee you I get an answer.
There's at least 7 bees in Europe.
You're not wrong.
Also, for anybody that was worried about the murder hornets from a couple months ago, don't worry. It was only one nest in Washington, so nobody's gonna die this month. Okay.
No.
No.
So this isn't all of Europe, but apparently in France and Spain, there's roughly 120 million.
Huh.
Seems like there should be more.
I mean, there's a lot of bees everywhere.
There's over 20,000 species of bees. Europe has about 10% of the worldwide bee diversity.
That seems bad. Europe having all the bee diversity.
They have 10% of the bee diversity.
Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I know you said that, but I didn't process, I guess? I don't know.
Bees are they are an important pollinator, but other important pollinators include butterflies, moths, bats, beetles, and worms.
Yep.
And hummingbirds.
Random fact about hummingbirds. If you're gonna feed them with those stupid ass, what's it called? Those stupid ass, hummingbird feeders, and you don't use, fruit juice or anything, and you use that stupid hummingbird, nectar, clean it up, because if it rots, it kills hummingbirds.
That's why I just use sugar water.
That makes so much sense.
As long as you use sugar water and you dye it like a color like blue, red, or orange, they'll come to it. So will butterflies and ants. But another word is you have to clean out the butterfly feeder much more frequently like that because you just end up with a bunch of dead ants floating. See ants just like they're like Forma! And they just go straight into paradise and die from drowning. It'd be like if you took an alcoholic to a brewery and they just jumped in one of the vats.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Well, it's about the same.
I mean, I guess. If you're really... If you're...
Oh yeah, and never use brown sugar because the brown sugar can rot, make a bad smell, and then like nothing goes towards it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that brown sugar comes from sugar beets, and white sugar comes from cane sugar, from sugar cane.
Which is better for you?
Beets, technically.
Beats by Dre.
But it's also like sugar beets are a much less big contributor of sugar to the worldwide population because they only grow. They're native to like northern climates in Russia, and they're hard to farm anywhere else that doesn't get a steady snowfall.
Also, another fact. Don't let companies tell you that high fructose corn syrup is okay. It's not okay.
Remember that Chiquita Banana, the fruit company, literally caused several mass. What was I saying? What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know. Please.
Oh yeah, so there was these. Okay, so in Central America, there was something called the Banana Republics, where a bunch of fruit barons basically built giant plantations, had essentially slave labor, and they basically dictated the outcome of several nations. Like making people poor, redrawing borders, killing and establishing politicians any way they wanted. And Chiquita Banana is one of those companies.
That's awful.
Also, Dole Fruit Company overthrew the sovereign government of Hawaii.
That's nasty. Fuck, like... fuck Dole. No, Dole.
Because of pineapples. Anyway.
Because of pineapples. Originally, weren't pineapple... Did people not even know how to use pineapples? And it was just like, oh, hey, this is a fancy-looking thing. This is a fancy-looking fruit. Let's
Well, like, you know you can eat this shit, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, most authors in the golden age of detective fiction, which was from 1920 to 1940, agreed on a set of 10 commandments, which included the banning of lame plot devices, such as secret twin brothers and hidden passageways.
Who belonged to this group?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Hey, sorry. Because if Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a part of this group, he was kind of stupid. Like, nothing against him as a writer. Like, Sherlock Holmes is pretty good. But he was not a very smart person.
Arthur Conan Doyle was born in the 1850s.
Wait, what time did you say this was?
The 1920s to the 1930s.
Oh my god, why am I am just super out of it today for some reason. I don't know why. Investigation? Anyway, yes, I would like to trade the gas for...
Last year, the U.S. Department of Education made around $51 billion profits off of government-mandated student loans, the equivalent to the profit J.P. Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo made combined.
Gross. That's
Margaritaville.
Ignore what just happened. Anyway. Move! Oh my god!
Both Shakespeare and Cervantes died on the same day. 23rd April 1616.
Oh, okay, this is something I've learned recently. But out of all of King Henry's wives, only 2 of them were beheaded. This was something I did not know.
This was King Louis?
No, King Henry.
Do you know that King Henry fucking exploded? When he died?
Like a dead whale?
Yeah.
What? Why? I need context.
Okay, so King Henry was a very heavy man later in life.
Uh-huh.
Alright, because he started off as a rather skinny, attractive man. But as he got richer and wealthier and richer and wealthier and richer and wealthier, he just used to eat and eat and eat and eat. He didn't ever get treated for medical things because he was afraid of doctors. And so when he died, he weighed like almost 400, 500 pounds.
Jesus Christ. That's super big. Like, Zero Yeti, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, sorry, you were just quiet for... Were you waiting for me to finish my rambling?
Yes, but I also needed to sneeze.
Okay.
I was trying to fight back. Okay, let's sneeze.
You know what? Yeah. A sneeze is a sneeze, I guess. Pick up that. I guess pick up that. And throw this bottle.
So when King Henry VIII died, he weighed over 400 pounds. And he was... Internet, I would really love for you to... Okay, so here we go. So, after much effort, his body was sealed in they decided to seal him in a lead coffin. Fairly typical for high-end funerals of the day.
Lead?
Lead coffin, yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Problem was that they couldn't fit him in the coffin, and so they were going to... they left the body out overnight in the dark.
Oh no.
11.
To like try and make the coffin whiter. Dogs got to him.
Oh no.
And began eating parts of him before they were scared off.
What the fuck?
This probably caused the structural integrity of the body to diminish. Eventually, they decided to fuck it. They weren't able to really expand the coffin, and we can't just leave him out. So, this should be noted that this was after his funeral procession and everything. So the body had been out and not properly preserved for a week.
Oh,
so rot began to set in. Like decomposition, which is what bodies naturally do. So they decided to just fucking shove the body into the coffin.
Mm-hmm. And how did that...
So that combined with the nature of the coffin basically made it so that his body kind of blew out sort of like a whale, and like gas and juices like flew out as they pushed him into the coffin.
Henry VIII's juices.
Yeah. This is a gross episode.
His juices. I don't know why I said it like that. I think I'm dead this round. Oh well.
So remember, if you're a terrible person in life, you may end up exploding in your fucking coffin.
Has this been Random Fact Thursdays?
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.